I am absolutely delighted to be able to join you today for the official launch of the Investment in Digital and Creative Enterprises, iDICE. I wish to commend the federal government of Nigeria for this initiative. The initiative is timely, strategic, and transformative, as it will build the ecosystems to support more competitive entrepreneurs powered by digital technologies. I am very proud that the African Development Bank Group is also partnering in leading in this initiative, which has the potential to generate millions of jobs for Nigeria's youth. The urgency of leveraging in implementation of iDICE for sustainable job creation and economic transformation is now. With over 70% of Nigeria's population under the age of 30, Nigeria has one of the greatest assets in the world. Some will call this a challenge to be managed. I call it an opportunity to be unleashed. It's time to do things differently. Yes, we gather to launch this initiative, but what we are really launching is more than this initiative. We are launching hope for the youth. We are launching platforms that will enhance the ability and capacity of Nigeria's youth to thrive. We are launching the creation of millions of jobs. We are retooling Nigeria to be more competitive in an increasingly digital world. We are creating hope for a new Nigeria driven by the power of the youth. What Nigeria does with its youthful population will determine the future of Nigeria. Its future in terms of first-rate education to make them competitive. Its future in terms of skills to fill the jobs today and create jobs of tomorrow. Its future in turning its dynamic, talented, and entrepreneurial youth into revenue assets. It is time to create youth-based wealth for Nigeria. Youth-based wealth will rapidly expand the creation of jobs, expand the fiscal space with new sources of taxes, and support a more inclusive Nigerian economy now and well into the future. That is why, shortly after I was elected President of the African Development Bank Group, we launched the Jobs for Youth in Africa strategy. We project that the program will create 25 million new jobs by 2026 that focus on practical and high-impact solutions. We are making already great strides. From 2016 to 2021, the African Development Bank supported the creation of over 12 million jobs, 3.1 million of which were direct and 9 million indirect. This has been made possible through our high employment impact operations and special initiatives in key sectors such as agriculture, infrastructure, energy, and financial sectors, as well as digital and creative industries that we are talking about today. Additionally, ladies and gentlemen, the bank's Coding for Employment program has provided on-site centers and digital training platforms that have equipped 23,200 youth from 45 countries with skills needed to succeed in a digital global market. We have invested close to $2 billion in 37 tech companies to improve national and regional broadband infrastructure and foster private investment and support digital enterprises. The African Development Bank is currently designing and will soon roll out youth entrepreneurship investment banks. They will be new financial institutions that will build robust financial ecosystems around the businesses of young people all across Africa. That is why we like iDICE, Mr. Vice President. It is visionary, It sees the future and prepares Nigeria for it. That future is here. Every aspect of life is being transformed digitally. Think of digital financial services for money transfers, payments, banking, and insurance, and we're just listening to Paga. Think of e-health with rapid growth of digital platforms that aggregate services for medical doctors, pharmacists, and diagnosis service providers. Think of e-government for better and more accessible service delivery to citizens. Think of education with digital platforms that connect teachers, tutors, and delivers open digital curriculum for enhanced and easily accessible learning for students. When you think digital, think global. It is estimated that the size of digital global health will expand from $217 billion in 2022 to over $1 trillion by 2031, just around the corner, an incredible growth. The size of Africa's digital economy will rise from $115 billion today to $712 billion by 2050. Now, most of that growth is already being driven by 4 countries, led by Nigeria. I thought you'd clap for Nigeria now. South Africa, Kenya, and Egypt. The expansion of the digital economy is driven by several factors, including the rapid growth in the youth population, the ubiquitous nature of access to mobile phones, especially smartphones, increasing investments in supportive digital infrastructure, and the spark in digital entrepreneurship and innovations during the economic challenges imposed by COVID-19 pandemic. These digital trends hold great promise to help create massive number of jobs. For example, estimates by Endeavor 2022 show that expanding digital infrastructure by just 10% will lead to a 2.5% annual growth in GDP in Africa. Furthermore, expanding access to internet in Africa from the current level of 33% to 75% will help to create 45 million jobs, including 3 million jobs in online services by 2025. Wow, that's amazing. We are already in Nigeria witnessing the power of digital technologies, tools, and platforms. Nigeria currently has 5 out of the 11 digital companies that have reached the status of unicorn with market valuation of $1 billion. Come on, guys. Names that come to mind include Jumia, InterSwitch, OPay, Flutterwave, and Andela, mainly in the fintech space. Now, if you traveled around Nigeria, you know that transport is a big problem. Nigeria's poor and fragmented cargo transport system is getting transformed gradually by young people, thanks to Kobo 360, a digital platform launched by 2 young Nigerians, Obi Ozo and Ife Oyedele. It is incredible that between 2018 and 2020, Kobo 360 has connected 50,000 trucks and 50,000 truck drivers and helped to freight goods worth $200 billion. Wow. I'm proud of Nigeria. I am proud of Nigeria, and I am proud of Nigeria. The creative industry in Nigeria is growing rapidly, we heard from the minister. In line with similar trends in Africa, the creative industry in Africa generated over $14 billion in revenue annually between 2015 and 2018, and is projected to create close to 3 million jobs by 2025. Nigeria, of course, has yet to fully tap and unleash the power of its creative industry, which still needs efforts to promote content creators, supportive infrastructure, access to financing, for the film, for the media, for the fashion, for visual arts, tourism, hospitality, and entertainment industries. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, the iDICE program will help to fill some of these critical gaps by supporting enterprise and skills development, access to demand-driven digital and creative skills, entrepreneurship skills, ICT-enabled infrastructure, as well as expanding access to finance. The African Development Bank is pleased to partner with the federal government of Nigeria on this $618 million iDICE program. The African Development Bank is providing $170 million in financing towards this program. I am delighted that we are able to mobilize additional co-financing of $217 million towards this program. Let me thank our partners, the Agence Française de Développement, for providing $106 million. The Islamic Development Bank for providing $70 million. The Bank of Industry and the federal government of Nigeria for providing $45 million in counterpart funding. Through independent fund managers, and that's what makes this very unique. It's not going to be managed in the ministry. It's going to be managed by independent fund managers. They will raise an additional $131 million to $262 million. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the iDICE program is set to be a real game changer. It will help to create 6.1 million direct and indirect jobs and equip more than 175,000 young people with technology and creative skills needed to drive innovation and foster entrepreneurship. And to start with, iDICE will support 451 digital technology startups, 226 creative enterprises, and 75 enterprise support organizations. And the Minister of Finance is here. I'm sure you're going to be quite excited that this program will add $6.4 billion to Nigeria's economy. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to express my profound appreciation to the federal government of Nigeria for its unwavering commitment to the iDICE program. His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari showed personal endorsement for this program in June 2022 with its manifestation of high political ownership of Nigeria's innovation agenda. Thank you, Mr. President. I would also like to highly commend the dynamic leadership of the Steering Committee of the Advisory Council on Innovation and Creativity, chaired by His Excellency, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, that has spearheaded the design of iDICE. The enactment of the Startup Act in October 2022 provides a strong boost to the federal government of Nigeria's efforts to enhance the enabling environment for the development of the startups in Nigeria, as well as position Nigeria as Africa's leading digital technology center. Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, my dear brother, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, for your exceptional leadership and foresight in shaping the design of the iDICE program. Now, there are many things you will be remembered for, and I know that your term and that of His Excellency the President would soon be coming to an end. I had a great opportunity to show my appreciation to His Excellency the President in Dakar, where we had the Feed Africa Summit. At that Feed Africa Summit, we were able to mobilize. Actually, when we were there, we did $36 billion. But as of today, we have mobilized $52 billion towards that effort to feed Africa. His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari was there. And since I knew that was my last time, I will have the opportunity to thank him for his support for me, for his great support to the African Development Bank. I decided there to be a soldier. The Minister of Finance was there. I gave myself the title of General, and I had the chance to be able to salute him for that. And I didn't go to NDA, but I'm a Nigerian, so I could salute him for a way. So thank you, Mr. President. But today, I want to thank you, my dear brother, Mr. Vice President. You have been an amazing leader in our nation. You've been very focused. You've been very determined. You've been very entrepreneurial. You've been very driven with one focus: how to make things better. As your time ends, may God be with you and guide you for whatever lies ahead of you. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. With the iDICE, President Buhari, yourself, Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, and the entire federal government can take pride because you will leave behind a legacy for the future growth and dominance of Nigeria in the digital and creative industries in Africa and globally. Together, therefore, let's use iDICE to unleash an ecosystem that will drive the emergence of a more dynamic and competitive youth entrepreneurs from Nigeria. Let us unleash the world-creating potential of the digital and creative industries. Let us foster the emergence of a stronger Nigeria, a Nigeria built on the dynamism and the creativity of its young people. Let us bring the future of the youth into the present. May God bless Nigeria. May God bless you, and thank you very much.